Hi, everybody. Welcome to My Other's Keeper. Happy Thanksgiving to my American compatriots. We love you. Therefore, we've given it off. And I know many of you have already been online and such, but as Canadians, we had our Thanksgiving a month ago. And so we just want to bless you tonight and give you our perspective on I guess the four of us on what we give thanks for. Sometimes they're difficult things, sometimes they're easy things, and that sort of thing. And thank you, Indigo, for being here to mod. I really appreciate that. And thank you, Misha, for creating this space on the village where we're able to come on and we're able to branch out to each other's channels and really create that village. Hi, Barbie. Nice to see you. Oh, hi, Jimena. Now, as most of you will know, I can't or I don't. I can't talk. Um, I don't generally do a call out like once we're actually going, but right now, Indigo Twin, Barbie, Jimena, Body Illusion. Great to see you. I am so glad that you're all here. You just give me such great joy to see that my friends have all come around us. So I'm going to introduce everybody. And for those who followed the channel before, you have met these people before. The one directly beside me is my mother, otherwise known as Mama. And she's only actually face-to-face on here once before, and that was during our relationship program. And a lot of people had some amazing things to say about that. So I'm really grateful that she's agreed to be on with us tonight. The person directly below me is Crystal. You all know her. She's amazing. Yeah. And then right down there, I believe, if I'm pointing the right direction, is my sissy. That's Glynis. And she is my old sister and the one I grew up with and the one with whom I had the most fights. So,
yeah.
Love you.
Love you.
Anyways, so I am just really grateful to see you all. And thank you, ladies. Thank you for being on tonight. I'm going to start out just by saying, yeah, that's one of the things I am most thankful for are these women with whom I am so close, with whom I have had so much history and so much just life. We have shared life together, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. So each of you, please give just a brief introduction to yourself, who you are, talk about where you're from in general terms, not necessarily the city or whatever. You can say the province if you want. And maybe just a brief history on why you think I'm amazing. I'm kidding. No, just a brief history on yours. So go ahead, Mama. Let's start with you.
Well, I think you want to know why I think you're amazing?
Because I came from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the history. Well, I'm the mother, and Glynis is my firstborn. Kim's the baby, and well, I won't tell you how long they've been in my life. They might not want you to know that, but yeah, they call Adam Uncle Adam, and Auntie Eve. Yeah, and I'm I don't know what all you want to know. Just right now. That's my
introduction.
Good. That's
Mary Lynn is my name. Mary Lynn.
Yes, Mary Lynn. So if you hear Crystal talking to her, it'll be Mary Lynn. Yeah. The rest of us will call her either Mom or Mama. Yeah. You know, just yeah. You know, thank you, Indigo. We are fine wine vintage.
Yeah,
as long as we don't turn into vinegar in a good way. All right, let's go down to my friend Crystal.
Well, most of you know me already. I'm Crystal. I've been on Kim's channel a few times. Her and I actually met over 34 years ago, give or take.
Yeah.
Actually, I met all three of them about 34 years ago or so.
Yep.
And just in the last year have reconnected, first with Kim and then with Glennis and Marilyn. So,
Thank you very
yeah.
much. Yeah.
And we're glad
awesome.
you did.
Yeah. Yes. And now the oldest blessing of the children.
That's right. That's right. I'm Glennis. I am married to Cam. I have 3 adult kids from a first marriage. I live in southern Alberta, Canada. But Kim and I and Mom, I guess by extension, we have lived, I mean, across all 3 Western provinces in Canada and at various points in our life, north to south to east to west. Yeah, we're very well traveled. Yeah, I'm very grateful to be here with this group of ladies. They have been a tremendous influence in my life and in my experiences in each of the seasons that I have known. As you know, Crystal, I mean, you and I haven't been as closely involved with each other. Like it was some number of years that we were, you know, very much apart. But I mean, very impactful person in my experiences even then and as now, and you know, listening to your videos and your interviews and such. Very significant person. And of course, Kim and Mom being the first 2 ladies in my life have probably had the most influence in me becoming the person that I am and becoming the wife and the mother that I have been. So, yeah, that's me.
Right. Thank you so much, Sissy. Barbie, you're from Ontario. Woo, woo. I have a child currently living in Ontario. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. I'm so grateful to see you here. Happy. And yes, here's my recipe for the snickerdoodles on Blessed to Crochet. She has a cookie special going on. And she just is, yeah, it's just cool. I'm going to be doing an episode with her on the 5th. And I'm actually going to be, snickerdoodles take 2 days to do. I'm doing the 2nd day of the snickerdoodles, just because it has to rest in the fridge for a while and get cold. So yeah, that's really the only reason. It's not like it's difficult, it's just more. And originally a Newfie. Oh my goodness, Barbie, I won't hold it against you. Anyway, no, Newfoundland is an amazing province. And as Glennis has said, growing up, we lived in all 3 of the most Western provinces. But as a married person, I also then lived way on the East Coast in New Brunswick for 11 months, enough to have 1 baby and get pregnant with a 2nd. You know, the way all people do it. So. No? Okay, fine. My oldest and Glennis's youngest are only 12 days apart in age.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun. We were pregnant at the same time. That was a really great way for the 2 of us to get closer together and me to learn from her because she already had 2 kids by then.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just to be able to lean on her for a lot of support was great.
Yeah.
So
I remember when we both announced that we were pregnant. It was over Christmas that we announced we were pregnant. My poor mother, you 2 are going to kill me. The 2 of us pregnant at the same time. Oh.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, actually, the day that I announced I was pregnant, Glennis was going to announce she was pregnant because, she found out the same day I did. And she was really gracious. She's like, no, this is Kim's day. This is her exciting. It's her first.
That's right.
We're going to let her have this right now. And I'll show up later.
I'll have mine later. I've been there, done that.
That's
also, yeah. Also, I won't tell your story. It's just there was a lot around, you know, how significant that announcement was for them to make. So yeah, they deserve to have that celebration above all.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even sure if I've told everybody. I don't mind telling everybody. Our first child had a really hard time getting pregnant. We actually had to go on medications. And so possibly in the future, I will be talking to some women about miscarriage and infertility and that kind of process.
Yeah.
What it feels like to go through that kind of a process.
Mhm.
But then after my oldest was born, God's like, here, have another one. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and it's not like she wasn't wanted. She was very wanted.
Yes.
It was just a bit of a timing surprise. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, her body
that's
finally
the story.
figured out, oh, that's what you want me to do. Well, okay.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm grateful I didn't end up with 6.
Yes.
So yeah.
My aunt and uncle, they tried for a number of years and couldn't get pregnant, and finally they stopped trying. They
Yeah.
had one, and 9 months later had twins. And she didn't know there was twins until the first one came out, and they saw that there was another one.
Oh my word.
So yeah,
Wow.
the boys they were more or less, she treated them like triplets.
Well, of
And
Yeah.
they're all they're all super close. The funny thing is, one of the twins and the oldest look more alike than the twins.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Oh, interesting.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Are they identical twins, the two, or are they
No.
fraternal?
No, fraternal
No, they'd
twins.
have to be
Okay.
fraternal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Cool.
think they're only about a year older than me, a year or two older than me.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
back then they
Ultrasound
didn't
wasn't
have
a
the
thing
same
when you were.
technology.
Yeah, ultrasound certainly wasn't a thing when you were born, and when
No.
our mothers were with us. So
No, exactly.
yeah, Mom's
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
Was it a thing?
Well, ultrasounds were there. You just didn't get pictures.
Oh, I see.
Oh, as well. Probably only the most emergency of pregnancies might have warranted an ultrasound,
Yeah.
because they wouldn't have been sure the effects.
Mhm.
I remember even 5-10 years before I got pregnant with Sarah, just there were people who were like, oh, if you do it to them, they're going to get cancer. I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
remember 100 years ago, you had to drink about 10 gallons of water before you
we
went
still
in.
do.
You still
Do
do.
you
Yeah.
really?
You still
And
do.
I want to tell you that the path to the bathroom was always clear for these
Yeah.
mothers.
Oh my, yes.
Room.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. No,
Yes.
I'm trying to think. I can't think. I mean, as far back as I can imagine in our family, Mom, I don't think there's been twins like anywhere in either side of our family. Not as far as I can think of. No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
it.
All right. So another new person I'm seeing is Ruby's mommy. She's a good friend of mine, and I wish I could mail her something, but Canada Post is on strike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bless their hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're special.
They
Actually-
did this a few years ago too about this time. So
they do.
They often do. When Canada Post strikes, most of the time it will be at a holiday because it makes the public scream to the government and puts the pressure on. Yeah, they do this often. They do it often.
And I've actually been paying attention a little bit. I normally don't get political on this channel, but I don't see this kind of strike as being political necessarily.
No.
But I have been paying attention, and one of the reasons that they're on strike is because the people who are working there now are almost all full-time employees. Therefore, they all have benefits, they all have retirement plans, etc. What is not guaranteed is that Canada Post will continue that process. They want to hire a whole pile of part-timers. So they don't have to pay benefits. They don't have to pay for all of
Yep.
those benefits that
Right.
the rest of the union people get. So that's one of the biggest reasons why they are staying on strike, because they're like, it's not for us, it's for the next generation of worker. And I really have to say, I appreciate that. I don't appreciate not being able to get mail through.
No.
But I understand the reasoning behind it.
Yes.
So yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
and
guess. Yeah. I
well,
was hoping- no, go. I keep stepping on you.
Go ahead, Crystal.
it's also putting more pressure on UPS and Purolator and all those other carriers.
Mhm.
And
Absolutely.
their service has become pretty crappy in the last few years as it is. At least
Yeah.
here.
The carriers don't take as much care as
No.
they used to.
Yeah.
That's right.
Here they literally they stand at their truck and throw. And wherever it gets to is where it lands.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. In a garden, under a tree, in a bird bath. They don't care.
Yeah. They put a book that a friend sent me in a mud puddle. And if I hadn't have gone for supper that night, I wouldn't have seen it maybe for a good couple of days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
have a parcel that I'm wanting to send to Australia to our other half sister, and
Mhm.
now Canada Post being on strike is I don't know when I can get this thing out to her, and is it going to get there for the holiday or Christmas or when or what's what's
You'll
going
have to send it FedEx or something like that, DHL. That's
Yeah.
expensive, but it will get there.
But yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah. I
yeah.
guess
Here-
I don't imagine she's not a huge holiday-ish kind of Christmassy kind of person, so it may or may not offend her if it doesn't come exactly for under her tree kind of thing. So
Yeah, I'm not sure she
We'll
puts
see.
up a tree,
yeah,
but yeah,
but
she has a cat.
I think your best bet is if you're gonna send through a carrier, send through Purolator International. I think
okay.
Isn't
you're
Purolator
probably.
owned? Is Purolator owned by Canada Post?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
We'll have to look that
I'll
up.
just,
Okay.
I'll just Google that.
Please
Because
do.
Okay, thanks, Mom.
Purolator should have. I think they have a better. They're not as expensive as UPS.
Yep.
Plus, they
Yeah.
have their own fleet of planes. So
Exactly.
Canada Post owns 91% of
Oh.
Purolator.
Okay.
So they won't be sending anything.
No.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Well
Okay.
then.
okay.
Well, thank you for bringing that up, though, Crystal. That's good to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't realize they were, because I think they're still showing up to the store every day.
They say that
Wow.
during Canada Post strike, Purolator workers union said they would not handle mail that originated
Okay.
with Canada Post. Their goal was to stop
Oh.
Canada Post from using Purolator to break a union.
Okay. Yeah, I will not use that.
So if you go directly to the Purolator location,
Right.
they'll send it, but
Okay.
not if you send it through the mail and expect to have the parcel
Handled
sent that
by-
way.
Yeah.
But there are
Right.
other couriers, like
Oh, yeah.
my husband, my stepson, he works for Loomis, and they certainly, and my stepson's workload has about doubled since the strike. So there are other ways to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And your stepson is very diligent. He's one of
Mhm.
these diligent drivers versus,
Good.
like Crystal says, the people in her area, not so great. The people in my area are fantastic. They come right up to the door, they knock or ring the bell or something like that. And if I'm not there, they hide it behind something. And there's like 3 things to hide it behind, and they're about this tall. So they hide it as much as they can so that they avoid porch pirates.
Right.
So yeah. And that's a good way to segue into, I am thankful for that.
Yes. There we
How's
go.
that for a segue?
Perfect.
Anyway, what is Canadian Thanksgiving? Ooh, good question, Indigo. So we will go with our first question. Ladies, what is Canadian Thanksgiving?
It's Canadian. I guess it's got to do more with harvest, and originated with thanks to God for harvests and for provisions. That's why Canadian Thanksgiving happens in early October and not November, because our growing season ends sooner. So yeah. And that's, I guess, the intention, I guess, is the same as in America, is the gratitude, the thanks for the provisions and family, and increase in excess like that.
Hmm. Part of the American Thanksgiving, though, is memorializing landing at Plymouth Rock.
Right.
So the arrival of the new America kind of thing. That's part of the American, and in the Canadian, we don't focus on that at all.
No.
Like Glenna said, it's very much a harvest festival. And the next question they ask, I'm sorry, Indigo. The next question is, what do they eat? So let's start with Mom, and let's start with, what is it historically you would have had when you were young? And your historical Thanksgiving may have looked different than other people of your own age. So tell us about yourself.
There would have been turkey, stuffed turkey with a bread dressing, peas, carrots, turnip, because I was in Saskatchewan. Turnip grows beautifully in the clay soil in Saskatchewan. And so turnip was always there. Cranberries, it's very much like American, what you would see at the American table. What we did not do, and maybe it's only because I've always seen it in pictures or in, I don't know, movies, we never brought the turkey whole to the table. And there was never a time when the head of the home would stand up and carve the turkey. They did in Dick and Jane books, and that was the books that I learned to read that played a big part of my life and my brain. But there would be, for desserts, there would be pumpkin pie would be the big thing, because that's another thing that Saskatchewan grew well, as in everywhere else, I think, in Canada. So pumpkin pie was the tradition. That's what we would have. And real whipped cream. We didn't have things like Dream Whip or the whipping cream you get out of a can, you spray. It would have been real whipped cream.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, and that's how we grew up as well. We had the real whipped cream. We had, like, those were the times we splurged on real butter, real whipped cream, real stuff like that, because normally in our family, we weren't well off, but at the same time, we weren't poor. Mom, I would hasten to suggest that she may have been lower income level than what we were for sure growing up. And so, again, that would have been a splurge to have a turkey, to have all of these things. So, yeah, that was a big thing. Crystal, how about your family? What was your typical Thanksgiving?
Typical Thanksgiving would be the turkey and all the trimmings. The stuffing, the mashed potatoes, the turnips. I loved turnips. I still do.
Yep.
At times I'll actually get a turnip, or some people might know it as a rutabaga. It's a little bit different than a summer turnip. It's more the winter turnip. But we would have that, and pickles of all different kinds, and of course my brother and I could sit there and eat half the pickle jar on our own. So turkey and gravy and pumpkin pie with imitation whipped cream. There's one of the companies in Western Canada is called Co-op. It's a store chain, and they had something called Dream Whip, which was a powder that we would mix up. And the reason we used that is because I was allergic to milk as a child. So we had to get things that we could use My Milk or coffee whitener, which was My Milk, was coffee whitener. So that's why we had it that way. It was mainly just our immediate family at Thanksgiving dinner. once I got a little older, we kind of took in a lady that became our big sister. Um, and we fought like siblings. Even my brothers and her would fight like siblings. And so she would come over for Thanksgiving if she wasn't working or spending time with her boyfriend that we didn't know about.
Well, Crystal, in your family, did you use, that was when Mom brought out the good dishes? Or
Yeah, the china was brought out usually. Yeah.
tablecloths. And
Yeah.
I grew up in an era where our family was very poor, but I had a mom who knew table manners.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a mom who liked everything very pretty. And so with whatever little bit we had, it
Yeah.
was well preserved. It was clean and tidy and
Yeah.
and looking as pretty as it could be. The forks were all, knife blades were turned in. I mean, she may have read all of this anywhere, somewhere, but still, for her, that was her very special time that she got to use. And we all knew how to behave at the table.
Yeah.
And
You get whacked off the chair.
well, you know, at least tipped. Yeah,
We all heard
yeah,
the stories.
yeah.
It was
And the
also
reason I did-
one. It was
ahead,
also
Kristen.
one of I'll say one of two times that the big oak table was brought out.
Yeah.
Because the big oak table was actually brought out at Christmas time because we had cousins and stuff over within that week between Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah.
And the one cousin family that came over during that, there was my aunt and uncle and another aunt and my aunt and uncle's 4 boys.
Okay.
4?
Yes, 4.
Yes, there were 4.
Yes, there was 4.
My husband happens to work with one of them, so I should know this.
Okay. Now, Kim, you were also going to explain the.
Yes, yes. This thing is, you weren't allowed to let your arms leave your sides, and my
Right.
sister and I used to practice with an orange under each armpit.
Yep. Yep.
So that we would be eating like little T-Rexes, you know, like you have to
That's
be
right.
very, you know, and it didn't hurt that she's a lefty and I'm not. So we also had to make sure that inevitably people would put us the wrong way at their kitchen table.
Yeah. And we'd be bouncing
Almost all the
elbows.
time.
Yeah.
And we were mashing elbows. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got to learn to eat with my left hand. It just is a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But also that was very practical, having that practice.
That's right.
Yeah, and we were so impressed that we were able to do that. Mom brought us up from a very young age
Doing that.
with that type of behavior.
Yeah.
We saw it, or I saw it as a game. I didn't
Oh,
think of it as being rigorous at all. So
no.
yeah, we had
No,
fun.
even now, if something, something in the kitchen, or if I have to, put a bowl or something, or put a pot on the table, I'll just sort of lay down, Grandma. Don't look. Grandma passed away in like 1971, so she's long, long gone. But yeah, my poor grandma be rolling over.
Yeah. Now you don't put pots on the table. That's just rude.
No.
Yeah, that time for New Year's and even for Christmas, no pots on the table.
Oh yeah.
The rest of the year, the pots were on the table all the time.
Yeah.
We never had pots on the table,
No,
not
never,
ever.
never. Not even in regular. Yeah.
And that's because my mom had nothing, but
Yeah.
she did have that. She knew manners, and that's where she got her identity from. I think
Mhm.
that was what made her feel good about herself.
Right.
And
Mhm.
I'm thankful for that. I really am, because that has carried me in a long way. And I remember one year asking my girls, of all of the things that you learned from me, and I'm expecting something very spiritual, something that wisdom perhaps that they
The
would have gained
wisdom.
from me. And both
Yep.
of them said teacups and saucers and placemats. That's what they, in all of their life with me, that's what they gained. Was
Yep,
teacups
exactly.
and saucers and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
She's
failed
not
as a
wrong.
parent.
And no elbows on the table.
And well, no,
No elbows. Yeah.
elbows were
gracious, yeah.
for glasses, not for something else.
Yeah. Tables. Yeah. Tables are for
Tables were for glasses.
tables were for
Tables,
glasses, not
glasses.
for posterity.
Others. Well,
I was always told tables are for bread, not buns.
oh,
Okay. Okay. I like that
Yeah.
better. I like that
Yeah,
better.
that's how I remember it.
Yeah.
So what is it that you give thanks for? Like, is it, I'm not going to even put it in there. Mom, what is it that types of things that you give thanks for?
oh, wow. Well, my life is just, I give thanks for my surroundings. I have learned, I think that without it being boastful, I can say I'm a positive person. I really try to find positivity in so many things. Well, in everything. If there's a need that's not being met, if people are acting out, it's a need that's not being met in their life. And that's where my positivity comes from. But I'm thankful for my surroundings. I'm thankful if you're depressed that you have a sink full of dirty dishes. Wow, you have dishes. And what made the dishes dirty? Oh, wow, you had food. So it's that kind of stuff and I've been so blessed. I've been blessed with family. I just keep, I am a biblical person. My being is from a biblical perspective. And so I'm thankful that in Isaiah it talks about your tent pegs expanding, being pushed out, and that means to gather other people around you. And my tent pegs gathered in 3 boys and my stepsons and their wives and 10 grandchildren, that make 4, 5, 6 great grandchildren. And you girls don't know this, but there's going to be another one coming in May. And so that's going to be great grandchildren. Plus, I have another stepson just by marrying Bob. There are 2, he has 2 boys, so I have those 2 stepsons,
Yeah.
plus 2 more grandchildren. And gratitude is just, it's just, I'm just thankful for so much.
So much. Yeah.
That's
That's
wonderful.
That's so
Yeah.
exciting.
Let's
Yeah.
go with you next, Glynis.
Oh, what kind of things am I grateful for?
Or just in general, what
I
in
mean,
life or what are you thankful for?
I am thankful, grateful first for my husband. I mean, he has been my person. He has been the person I have needed for a very, very long time that I didn't have. Someone who loves and accepts me, not in spite of the person I am, but because I am the person I am. Not in spite of, having ADHD, not in spite of, some of my PTSDs, but because I am the person I am. I'm grateful that he treasures me. He honors me. He loves me unquestioningly. Someone I don't have to make excuses or apologies for. Someone I am proud to be his wife. I am proud to have this man in my life beside me. I'm grateful for my kids and the people that they have developed into being respectful and honorable and upright and loyal, positive, pleasant people. I'm 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 grateful to live in Canada and for socialized healthcare. Uh, my husband and I have both had some very significant health concerns in the last 3 or 4 years, and it has made me just immensely grateful for the service that we have been able to take advantage of without worry, without fear. I'm most grateful for those kind of 3 major things.
Can I just add something to this, Glynis?
Yeah.
I will never forget when it wasn't too long after I met Cam that you had this very pretty dress on, and I said, "You look so beautiful in that dress." And I've never forgotten this. And Cam says, "I like to say that she makes the dress look beautiful."
I
And I
never
have
knew
never
that.
forgotten that. And I've never forgotten that. And it has changed the way I compliment people now.
Yeah.
Children, the way I compliment children.
Yeah.
They don't need to be pretty, but they make that dress look pretty or whatever. It did. Yeah, I won't forget it.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
absolutely. And again, that's just the kind of person that he is. He's because that's the kind of person he's always been. It's not something that he puts on or that's just who he is.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Crystal, what are you thankful for? What do you give thanks for?
Now
Yeah.
I give thanks for the village, the community of people that in this past year have come alongside me. I am so thankful for Kim because she is the one that introduced me to all these beautiful people that have helped me through some really tough times this past 9 months or 10 months, whatever it is. I guess, no, more like 11 months, I guess. I don't know, whatever. And I know that as I go through some more tough stuff, as I continue to go through testing for finding out what's really wrong inside my body, and see more and more specialists, I am thankful for this village, that I know I've got people surrounding me, and for Kim, and that God raised her up to be that person to go to medical appointments with me that are tough. My best friend moved to Calgary, and she was the one that was helping me with the medical appointments and stuff. And so I'm thankful that now I have Kim. I'm thankful that I've got 2 cats that love me and care for me and are there to help support me emotionally. I am thankful that I do have an apartment to move into. I still do not know when. I'm hoping I will know by the beginning of the year. Unfortunately, in that, it means I'm going to be losing my Leo. And Leo's my big orange cat. I have to find a new home for him. But I think he's the better one to go on, as Patches is my 8-year-old, and she's pretty much a one-person cat. So, but I am thankful that there will be more changes coming. I am thankful for doctors who have listened to me and who care. A doctor who is willing to send me to these specialists. You guys are all my family. And so I don't mind saying it. And I'm saying it, yes, I understand. I'm saying it live before I say it to any of my biological family or anything. But My doctor is referring me to a surgeon that I will be talking to about getting a preventative double mastectomy.
Hmm.
Okay.
So I am looking forward to that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'll bet. I'll bet.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I am also thankful I have a place to go to for Christmas.
That's it.
I am starting to get excited
Yeah.
about Christmas for the first time in years.
Yeah. Is she going to you, Kim? Yeah. Good. Good.
Crystal, are you why she isn't coming to me?
It's her fault. Her fault.
I don't know.
Mom, if Crystal could take the time off, we would just bring her.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Crystal, I am so grateful for you. So the things that I give thanks for are, as the rest have said, my family. I am really thankful for my family. I am even thankful for the family that I grew up in, which was difficult. It was a rough family to grow up in, but it made me who I am today. If I did not have that family, I wouldn't be able to talk to all the people on this channel who have been through all the crap that they've been through with the empathy and the
Yes.
compassion and the experience to know this is the way life is. So for that, I'm not necessarily grateful for what happened, but I'm grateful that I am through that, you know, and that I am really grateful for. Oh, Indigo's wondering, Glennis, you have a tattoo. Yes, she does.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yep.
Yeah.
She has several.
I have a few. Well, Kim and I both have a few between us, but yeah, each of mine are very significant and have kind of significant stories behind each of them.
Same here. Yep.
Yep.
Anyway, what else I'm grateful for? I am thankful for people like Crystal in my life, people who remind me that mental health is just as significant and sometimes even more significant than typical physical health is, because mental health is physical health.
Yes.
You could be as healthy as you want to be. You could be like a marathon runner. You could be whoever. But if your mental health isn't there, it means nothing.
Yeah. Simone Biles. I mean, Simone Biles, the Olympic gymnast, you know, in perfect Olympic shape, and her mental health suffered, and she, yeah, that was her first priority and affected everything.
Absolutely. And people bashed her for it like you wouldn't believe. But for those of us who understood, she was a champion among champions.
Absolutely.
Honestly.
Absolutely.
I'm also thankful. I'm going to say this. I'm going to repeat what my sister said. I am thankful for my husband. People
You have a good one.
I've got a good one. Yeah, I sure do. People will generally say, "Oh, how long have you been together?" And they'll mean, "What's your wedding date? Like, what's your anniversary day?" And I always say, "Oh, well, we've been together for 34 years, but we've been married for 29."
Yeah.
Because the 34 years ago is when my life changed.
Yeah.
When he became my significant other. And he became my significant other right at the beginning of the relationship. And it's not because we were rushing it. It's just that's the way God planned it. I was in a very, very unhealthy relationship for quite some time before him. And the ex and I had this major fight. My mom happened to be in the city staying at my place, and she was there for that fight. And at the end of it, she's like, "Okay, Kimmy, you really need to talk about this, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah, I need to hug." She was thinking I needed to talk to her. And had Doug not been there, definitely she would have been my go-to.
I got replaced.
Yep.
And so you should, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah,
my go-to. He was my person.
Yeah.
And like Glynis, he is my person. So if I have nobody else in the world, but I have him, yeah.
Yeah.
Most and foremost, like Mom said, she is a very biblical, spiritual individual. So am I. Most and foremost, I am grateful for God and his mercy and his grace. Because if I didn't have his mercy and his grace, I would never know how to show it to anyone else. Right? And also, like my mom, well, I'm grateful that I'm a lot like my mom.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
Make your
I'm
bed
really
today.
grateful for that. Pardon?
Made your bed today, did you?
I did actually. I've been making my bed for the last several months.
That's wonderful.
Fine.
There's a
These
story
are
behind that. We won't go there. Anyways, but I am grateful for, and I forgot where I was going with that, but
I'm
that's okay.
sorry.
I'm grateful that I'm like my mom, and
Yeah.
as a woman of deep Christian belief, I am grateful for my Savior, and there's no other way I would be able to live except through strength that I gather through the community of Christ, through Jesus himself, through his word, and all of that. And I'm grateful that I live in a country where that is allowed.
Amen.
Yes.
That is big because
It is.
especially now there are countries where that isn't allowed. Even parts of the country where I'm in and our southern neighbors, there are communities in those where speaking your spiritual belief, regardless what it is, isn't allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More socially than legally,
Yeah.
right? Socially, it is not acceptable to have certain beliefs.
Yeah.
Socially, it's not acceptable to raise your children in specific beliefs because that can be seen as child abuse, being spiritually, I don't know the word, abusive, I guess.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, whereas Crystal was spiritually abused. She was abused in the name of spirituality.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and that is a huge difference. Huge difference.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just there's a story with that bed. Yep. Anyway.
You know, Bob and I were talking, my husband and I were talking today, talking about thankfulness, and these questions you gave, Kim, were Bob and I discussed them over when we were having lunch today. And we said, when do you give thanks and what do you give thanks for? Part of what we give thanks for is that we can go outside and look and there's no bombs. There's no threat of bombs.
That's right.
There's the freedom to know that in the morning, unless it is one of us dies, we're going to wake up together. And so it is, you know, our problems that we can have, our problems that we face daily, they are, and I don't, this channel, Kim, baffles me because the support you give each other here is so incredible that I almost don't identify with it. And I have two daughters in my life that do suffer with mental illness. And I didn't know about mental illness when I grew up, when I was even your ages now.
Yeah.
Mental illness was not something that we identified with. Now there's a name for everything, and it's easily identified now. We just either thought, oh, someone was, I don't know, they just were senile, or
They were
rude, or
someone's elevator didn't go all the way up, or I mean, we had little names for it. That was so. When you think about it now, how bad that is. It's not identifying. It's not showing empathy for. It's not seeing that someone has a need that's not being met, and it's so different for us to recognize. And I don't think it is just me. I don't think that it's just something that I put blinders on. We just didn't recognize it.
No, they
And
didn't.
It wasn't just you.
how
For
we
sure.
No, it
learned,
wasn't. It absolutely was not.
yeah, how we learned, what we learned was you just turn the other way.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it's so much more comfortable. And so that's what we learned. And what goes on in your family, well, my goodness, that's where it should just stay.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
so many lives were lost. So many
Mhm.
people were devastatingly hurt.
Mhm.
So what I am thankful for is forgiveness. Not only
Yeah.
forgiveness from what my sin was, but forgiveness from family. These two
Yes.
girls here, for instance, forgiveness there is
Mhm.
we were able to forgive one another. And what a
Yeah.
blessing that is. We walked through that step. And so I'm so grateful for forgiveness and for understanding and
Mhm.
knowledge
Yeah.
and what
Mhm.
I'm learning now.
Yeah. For
And
compassion.
I'm,
That's a
yeah,
word that I have
compassion.
very well in the last dozen years of my life is compassion. Having compassion for people in the space that they're in, having compassion for an LGBT person who is finally able to live in a society not built for them, compassion for an autistic person like my husband who is able to live in a world that's not built for him, compassion for myself in and compassion for my sister, for my mom, compassion to meet them as the people they are in spite of what's going on in and around them and what they have been through to get there. It's just, yeah, it's been a very significant concept for me to learn in the last dozen years.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm in what Mom was saying. Her generation didn't know about mental illnesses and things like that. I'm a part of a group working with the Schizophrenia Society, and I talk about my journey with my mental health.
Yeah.
I made a lot of mistakes with my kids in raising them, just like my mom made a lot of mistakes with us,
Oh
just
yeah.
everybody. I'm learning so much from my kids,
Yeah.
and that generation will teach my generation,
Yeah.
and then their kids or that next generation will teach them even further.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure
So
they will.
knowledge doesn't only come down from higher generations, although a lot does. It comes up through lower generation or through younger generations, I guess.
Mhm.
And I'm grateful that we have those younger generations who
Mhm.
learn,
Yeah.
who do change the world.
Yeah.
Because without that world being changed,
Mhm.
not
And
four of us would it
and
be
it's
able to live
channels like
authentically.
this. It's
Yeah.
groups like this that allow for
Right.
that change, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
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 I have to say I'm grateful for everybody in that list of
Mm.
everybody who's watching and everybody who will watch. I am so
Yeah.
grateful for you all.
Yeah. Very
So
much.
let's go to the next question of when
Yeah.
do you give thanks?
Mm.
Let's start with Crystal this time.
Well, quite often, I guess.
Yeah.
Sometimes on a daily basis, I'm thankful for different things.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else? I didn't want to cut you off. So
Yeah. Because I'm bad for that.
okay, let's go with
Yeah, I
Susie
know.
here.
um.
She's no that way.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I'm that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. That's one of the things that that my husband and I do for each other every single day is we tell each other that we love each other and our thankfulness and gratefulness. You know, I'm grateful that I chose you. I'm thankful that I have you in my life. I'm thankful for the person you are to me. We say that to each other every single day. Every single day. Otherwise, I guess it's hard to it's hard to identify a time when I'm grateful because I can't identify a time when I'm not grateful or thankful for circumstances around me, and thankful for, you know, blessings and understanding that I have found. Yeah, I can't separate the two because I can't think of a time when I'm not in some way
That's
or
excellent.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Mama, how about yourself? When are you grateful?
Um, I wish I could read what people are responding if they are responding, because holiday times are not always grateful times.
Yeah.
Holiday times, and we're the three of us are talking about how grateful we are for our families. And we're grateful for our families because we've walked through it.
Yeah.
We've come to a place where we had the knowledge to show forgiveness, and we had the knowledge to show understanding and empathy. We have that knowledge. There are people who don't have this.
Yeah.
And Christmas, Thanksgiving, anytime that there's times together, and it seems like we connect Thanksgiving with family as well as Christmas.
Yeah.
But we have to get past that. If you're not feeling very thankful today for your circumstance, take a look at your chair you're sitting in. Is it holding you up? Be thankful.
Mhm.
Do you have a roof over your head? Be thankful. Break it down into little things you can that you can manage. When do you give thanks? Whenever you start feeling poor me.
Yeah.
That's when I learned to give thanks.
Yeah.
Then I was able to look around me and see, what am I giving
Mhm.
thanks for?
Yeah.
And what have I got to give thanks for? What worth am I to give thanks for? Who cares
Mhm.
about me anyway? No one would care.
Mhm.
You know, people care. You have to let them care. And
Yeah.
that's a hard thing, to let
Yeah.
people care for you.
Mhm.
It's a hard thing to show forgiveness for yourself. There's a place to start.
Yeah.
Be thankful for that,
Yeah.
that I am worthy. I am not a piece of dirt. And if you're here today, if you're alive, that means God's not finished with you. That's all that means. So be worthy to yourself today. When do you give thanks? Right now.
Yeah.
Give thanks for right now.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mama.
Yeah.
Just going to highlight Indigo's comment here. That's true, Mama. Sometimes people are having a hard time out there, either through loss of people for their safety, but I'm thankful that they're here and that I know them. And
Amen.
Indigo, we are so grateful that we know you too. You are,
Right.
yeah.
I wish I knew you, Indigo.
Yeah.
Well, come on the channel a little more, Mama, and you will. Just saying.
I
It's
heard
not
that.
like they're not here.
That's right.
Yep.
Anyway, so when am I full? And Barbie, of course, says, well said, Mama.
That's right.
So, yeah. Crystal also comments, thank you, Misha, for this village and for helping get this need met for everyone that is involved, including
Yes.
yourself.
Yeah.
Very much. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
For that.
And when I give thanks, I start my day giving thanks. When I first get up out of bed, I'll be going, ugh. Then I'll go into my ensuite bathroom and I'll sit on the toilet and I'll look out the window and say, hey, God, good morning. Thank you so much for waking me up. And right from then on, all day, I give thanks. And it's not like I'm a Pollyanna thankful for thing kind of thing, because
Yeah.
frankly, there are some things to not be thankful for. But like Mom, I try to keep a positive attitude and see thankfulness and things to be thankful for in almost every situation. So in being thankful, in having gratitude, in having the option of whether to be thankful or not. Do any of you have a gratitude journal or a place where you write down where you're thankful?
I don't. No.
I do.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
every day since 2016,
Mm,
I have written in a journal with the help of a devotional. The devotional isn't a book I follow. The book actually is the Bible. That's my devotional. So if I can just say, my devotional consists of the acronym SOAP. So it's the scripture, it is the observation, it is the application, and then it's prayer. So for however many years that is, girls, whatever that is, 2016 to
8 years.
2025. How many?
8 years. 8 years.
8 years?
I'm sure the mathematician down here, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So from
it's just-
2016,
I was told there'd be no math.
8 years. That's how long I've been writing in a journal. And whenever I read that scripture, I'll pick it's given to me so many scriptures, so many chapters or whatever it is. And I pick something out that just springs at me. And
Yeah.
I'll look at it and then I'll write that passage down. And then I'll write down what's going on, what was happening during that time. And then I'll write an application. And it's the application, how I can make that valuable in my life. And that's when I get to write down my gratitude journal and the prayer part.
Yeah.
So for those who are not in this, for those who are watching the replay, Indigo, thank you very much for pointing out scripture, observation, application, prayer. Perfect.
Thank you, Indigo.
Thank you for highlighting that. She would be. She absolutely would be.
I keep telling her that. She doesn't believe me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm older
Yeah.
than dirt, you guys.
That's okay.
Mama, that means nothing.
That means nothing.
That
Yeah.
does not mean anything.
Yeah. No, unfortunately, I've not had a good experience with journals and diaries. I just never got into the habit of keeping one and trusting one. It just wasn't a habit that I kind of kept up with, you know.
Part of the reason that she never trusted having one is because she had a little sister.
Yeah. Yes. No, I'm not
Just
even
saying.
kidding.
No, and I'm not kidding either.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. As oh, Mama, here you go. No, you are a rare vintage
Well,
wine.
That's
Yes,
it.
she does wine, but we don't talk about that
Yeah.
very much.
Just as long as I'm not a dry wine, I'm like one of those bubbly sweet things.
But Tommy Scoville, the admiral of the lifeboat, many of you know who he is, some of you don't. He talks about journaling all the time, every day, all day. He has different journals for different things. And for him, even somebody offering, you want to read my journal? He won't. He's like, no. That is like the R word of Maine. You know, that is like taking emotional,
Advantage.
taking serious advantage emotionally of somebody, because a journal should be the one place where they can be 100% themselves.
Yeah.
And for me, unfortunately, as much as I like to think that I'm fairly genuine and honest, I generally am.
Yeah.
But I lie to myself even in my journal. I write what I want to think that I think, you know, and I don't yet have the courage, I think, to really be 100% authentic, because it scares me what I'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
What about you, Crystal? Do you have a journal?
I haven't been writing in a journal. I have in the past. For me, it seems like when I journal is when I'm doing better. And these last 3 or 4 years, I just keep going downhill. And the energy isn't there. At one point, my journal was my weekly emails to my counselors, letting them know how things were going.
Yeah.
I can't even do that anymore. That, to me, is too much work.
Crystal, can I say something to you, sweetie? I think sometimes when we think of journaling, we think it's a big job. And it's like getting through a day. Sometimes you get through a day, a commercial at a time. I quit smoking doing that. Getting through a commercial, I'd wait from one commercial to the next before I'd have a cigarette. And then sometimes I could get through 2 commercials. Well, journaling, even if you just wrote down on a piece of paper, "Hi, Crystal," that's enough.
Yeah.
That's saying Crystal exists.
Mhm.
Hi, Crystal.
Oh.
Try that.
I know I'll eventually get back to journaling.
Yeah.
It's just, right now, it's a mindset that I'm not strong enough to do the writing.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm starting to see a little bit of light
Good.
in these last few months.
Yeah.
Good.
It's crazy because when I'm at my lowest, that's the times that I need to journal. And I wish that I had journaled in some of my other down times so that I knew, so that I could go back and read some of those times and see how I got through,
Yeah.
because I can't remember that anymore.
Yeah.
Excellent
And
point.
I even got to a point where I used to, at the beginning of a year, I would set goals for that year. And I would break it down to different goals, like emotional goals, physical goals, crafting goals, goals for what I wanted to accomplish around my trailer. About 3 years, and then I would break it down each month to what I wanted to work on that month. But probably about 3 years ago, I said to my counselor at one point, I said, I don't even have the want to set the goals. And she said, then don't. Take a break. And I know I need to get back to doing that, because it did help me to stay on task. And I'm really hoping and praying that once I get into the apartment, my health will start to come back.
Yeah.
Both physically and mentally. I honestly feel that my trailer has become toxic to me over these last couple of years. And it's not that it hasn't been prayed over. I'm praying over it constantly. It's just, I need a new start.
Crystal, do you know that you journal every time you come on to this channel? You journal. Yes, you do. I think people are thinking you have to write down in a book, put a date on, You exist. You're here. You come on faithfully to this broadcast. That's journaling.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm in the chat.
That's right. Yeah.
And a lot of the people in the chat right now.
Lack of sleep on Thursday nights, but that's okay.
Yep. And I'm going to bring this from Carrie on. Janet says, Crystal, remember you are writing only for yourself.
Mhm.
You can write in single words or point form
Yeah.
and think of it as a loving thing to do for yourself.
Yeah.
I think for some of us, that loving thing
Hmm.
can still feel like too much.
Yeah. It can be
And
difficult.
for me,
Yeah.
I make things too big in my own head.
Yeah.
And I know I'm doing it. I just can't seem to stop.
Yeah.
And that's
Mhm.
one of the challenges that I have. Yeah. And
I
I keep
remember
getting,
when
go ahead, Mama.
I remember when Kim was a little girl, and Kim really didn't like math in particular, because I didn't like math either. But I remember her coming home with homework and having such a hard time with it. And she'd come home with a page of 30 math questions, but at the top of the page it would say, just do 15, just the
Mhm.
every other one. Kim
Yeah.
could never see every other one. She could only see the whole page.
Mhm.
Then we got to see, well, there's that one, and then skip one. And then I don't know if that helps, but I understand what she's saying. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's just too big. Even loving, even saying I love myself is just too big.
Yes. Yes.
Even if you could just say the word Crystal or Glennis or Kim or whatever, you exist. You are here, and there's a purpose for you being here.
Mhm.
And I
And you
think
are
that's a big
loved.
part of it. For me, giving thanks has a lot to do with purpose,
Yeah.
right? There's a purpose for the crap that I went through as a kid.
Mhm.
Yep.
It wasn't happy, but there was a purpose. And I'm thankful for who I am, even though sometimes I still love myself very much. I come onto this channel and people think of me as being very confident and outgoing and happy. And today I have been vertical. Let's count for probably 3 hours before we started this.
Yeah.
I was in bed sleeping. I didn't do dishes. I've been to the bathroom 3 times. I have, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I am a weak individual, but I am so thankful that every Tuesday and Thursday, I have a group of people who support me and love me and show up
Mhm.
and give me something to
Mhm.
talk about and someone to
Yeah.
talk to.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for you all. So in the loving yourself vein, do you sometimes feel being grateful difficult, having an attitude of gratitude, which sounds like such a platitude? I can't believe I just did that. Anyway, no, I can totally believe I just did that. Anyway. So, Sissy, yeah, do you ever find gratitude difficult?
Sometimes, when it's, when I consider gratitude for difficult things, I don't find that easy. I find it very difficult to have gratitude for some of the events in my life. I mean, I'm jealous that you have found that as easy as you have. Well, I wouldn't say easy, but that you're at that
Thanks.
point. But I'm jealous that you're at that point now, because I find it still so difficult to be grateful for some of the events in my life. I'm grateful for the person that I have become in spite of it. But yeah, I guess I find it most difficult to be grateful for the negative things, which is probably not uncommon. I mean, that's, I'm not that kind of Pollyanna kind of person. Oh, it's raining. Okay, yeah, it's raining, but I have a roof over my head. I can't be, grateful for the rain. I can be grateful, yeah, that I have a roof over my head. But yeah, those are the things I find the most difficult to be grateful for.
The Bible, I'm going to pull out the Bible here. The Bible says, in everything give thanks. It never says for everything give thanks. So the crap, the terrible, horrific, truly life-bending crap that you went through as a child,
Mhm.
you don't have to be thankful for any of it.
No.
In fact,
No.
I would be shocked if you were.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I wouldn't think you were right in the head, actually. If you
Yeah,
were
yeah.
thankful for any of that, of
Yep.
any of that
She's
type
not
of
right in the
situation.
head.
I'm not. No.
I wasn't going to say that out loud. I mean, you don't. But I'm just going to pull this up here. Carry on. Janet says, I don't feel grateful for the negative things. I feel grateful for who I am, but I acknowledge that trauma needs to be processed. And I think that's where I find the gratitude is that I'm able to process it. I have such a support community around me that I've been lucky enough to gather together. Glynis may not have that in her life at this moment.
Right.
And maybe we all need to gather around her and love on her.
But
and
I have the channel. Like I have you in this channel and the work that you're doing.
You have,
yeah. Absolutely.
And you are welcome every Tuesday and Thursday to join us and chat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or even just lurk if you don't want to even say anything. Just lurk.
No, exactly. No, exactly.
Yep. Completely welcome. So what about you, Mama? Do you find it difficult to be grateful in difficult times?
No. No.
Okay.
And I guess
why
it's
is that?
because I guess it's because I say I remember at such a low point, like such a low point, that I got a phone call and my knees gave away and they didn't hold me up. And I said, Lord, I know that I'm supposed to be grateful for everything that you give me and that you let come by me. Just teach me right now because I can't see it. And then I don't think it's looking at life with rose-colored glasses, but it is. I have learned, maybe it's because I'm older than dirt, that I have been able to get a coping system going in my life, and that's the only way I could get through.
Yeah.
My stuff started long before you girls were here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So I learned that there had to be a way to cope, and I learned it. Sometimes I learned it too well.
Yeah.
But I don't have a problem with I don't find gratitude difficult.
Good.
Crystal, have I asked you yet? Do you find gratitude difficult? I haven't asked you yet.
No,
okay.
you haven't. Nope.
I try to go in variety of orders.
One and then two, and now it's
okay.
Yeah, I have a lot of troubles with being thankful. And part of it is because I don't think I deserve to be thankful.
Oh my honey. Oh my honey. Oh my. No, my love, you are worthy. You are valuable. You deserve good things. You deserve love. And you deserve to be here. And you deserve friends. You are worthy. You are valuable.
I want to ask you something. Do you honestly, with your entire heart, believe I would put the effort that I do into you if you weren't worthy?
Probably not.
That's right.
So that means what?
That I must be worthy.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
If you don't feel worthy in yourself, you're worthy to me. Okay. And I know that may not mean a lot to some people, but if you find somebody to whom you are worthy,
Mhm.
that means you are. You really are.
Mhm.
And even if that just gives you this much of worthiness, just a tiny little bit, it's there and it can grow.
Yeah.
And I love you, my sweet.
I love you, my friend.
I love you, Crystal.
When you've always been treated as an afterthought for so long, it's really hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When the people that should love you
Mm-hmm.
don't.
Yeah.
Not only in the case of each one of us here, and I do mean each one of us here, the people who have loved us, or we who should have loved us the most,
Mm-hmm.
have all been betrayed by those people.
Yeah.
Every one of us on this page. And in that way, our hearts, the hurt in our hearts, reach out to the hurt in your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And like an oyster, we will try to surround you with goop and we will make a pearl out of you. Oh, bad.
No.
Sorry.
That-
We will make a precious gem out of you. Sorry. My bad.
that example. Yeah. But okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. A precious treasure. Yeah.
We will make a
For
precious
those-
gem out of you, my friend.
That's right.
But
For those that don't understand why I say no, my mother's name was Pearl.
Yeah.
and she was not a good person.
No.
No.
Yeah. She was a major part of the problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
A major contributor to the hurt.
Yes.
But yeah. When we have been hurt so deeply, so profoundly, it is difficult to find anything to be thankful and grateful for. Even within ourselves. I mean, it's hard to be grateful. It's hard to be thankful for, having health and life if you've been, physically, injured, if you've been, physically betrayed or injured or hurt. It's hard to be thankful for family when your family has been the primary source of your hurt. It's hard to be thankful for a home to live in when that home has not been a safe place. When you have been as deeply hurt and betrayed as each of us in this room and each of you, over there have been hurt, we do find it difficult to find the things to be thankful for. And that thankfulness will look different to each one of us. What Carry On there is thankful for will look different from what Kristen is thankful for, will look different from what Kim is thankful for, will look different from what Crystal will find to be thankful for. Each one of us will be thankful and grateful for different aspects and different things in our lives, but they're still there. Sometimes sometimes it may take a little bit more looking, it may take a little bit more investigation and a little bit more forgiving, much finer filter than others, but that's okay. That is okay. Be kind to yourself. That's one of the messages, the biggest message that I put on the video that Kim and I did together was be kind to yourself above all. Be kind to yourself. Take care of yourself. Be gentle with yourself. And even if it is looking in your bathroom mirror and meeting eyes with yourself in the bathroom mirror and just nodding. And if that's enough, that's enough. And I've done it. I have done it. When the words don't come, you look at yourself in the bathroom mirror and just nod. And then
I don't even like looking at myself in the mirror.
look at your eyes. Just look at the eyes. Just look at the eyes in the mirror.
By your glasses.
Yeah, exactly. But just
You
that
just look at
space
your
of your eye.
glasses and then slightly behind.
Yeah, just look at those, just the area of meet your eyes. That's it. Don't look anywhere else. And just nod. Just acknowledge that person is in that mirror and is meeting your eye and looking back at you. You know?
Crystal, do you remember the song, There's a Hole in the Bottom of the Sea? Do you know that song?
Oh,
I think it starts with "There's a hole in the bottom of the bucket."
There's
no,
a hole in the
different
bottom of the
song.
sea.
Oh,
Okay,
There's
all
a
right,
hole in the
ladies.
bucket is a
1,
different song.
2, 3. There's a hole in the
hole
bottom
in the
of the
bottom of
sea.
the sea.
There's a
There's a
hole
hole
in
in the bottom of the
the
sea.
sea.
There's
There's
a
a
hole
hole.
There's
There's
a
a
hole. There's a hole in the bottom of the
of the
sea.
sea.
Okay, here's what I want you to hear. There's a log in the hole. There's a frog on the log. There's a hair on the frog.
No, up. There's a bump on the
Yeah,
frog.
there's
There's a bump. There's a bump on the
bump
log.
on the log on the.
There's
yeah,
a frog
there's
on
a
the
hole,
bump on
yeah.
the log.
You can probably
And it
Google for
keeps
the
getting
whole thing.
smaller.
It'll be it's a whole
I
thing.
just want what I'm trying to get you to hear is that there is a bump, there is a frog, there's a hair in the frog. Oh no, there's a wart on the frog, there's a hair on the wart. There's a flea on the hair. And one time, that's
And there's a
about
mite
where
on the
my
flea.
faith was. And that's where my faith was. I wasn't even as big as the frog. The wart was bigger than what my worth was.
Yeah.
The flea was bigger than what my worth was.
Mhm.
And then at the very bottom of the sea, there was still that log. But then God pulled me out of that hole. And I came out looking like beautiful driftwood. And the driftwood doesn't look like much, but its edges were smoothed off. And God made something out of me.
Mm.
He made me look like a piece of driftwood that could be dressed up. It could be used to whatever. But what I'm trying to tell you is that no matter how worthless you see yourself in that bottom of the sea, and you went in a log, but you've come out as a beautiful person. And that's where you are.
Mhm.
You fell into the bottom of the sea. Your life was in the bottom of the sea on that log, and you were as worthless as that old log. But things have happened to you. There are cats who depend on you, for Pete's sake.
Mhm.
What would your cats do without you?
That's right.
You are worthy. You are worth something.
Yeah.
And that's where you need to come from. You are worthy. You've come up. You have come up from the bottom of that sea as driftwood. And so you're going to drift a while, but you're going to find your place.
That's right.
Indigo has a beautiful idea. I used to write sticky notes and leave them around myself at my house. Then I'd find them and it would remind me that there were things to love about myself, and slowly I could believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One little note at a time. So we're going to round this up today by asking this final question. Through all of the emotion, through all of the turmoil, through all of the laughter, through all of the camaraderie, what are each of you thankful for today? Let's start with Mom.
Well, I'm thankful you invited me here. because there are people who need to hear what every one of us have shared,
Mhm.
what everyone has written.
Mhm.
I'm thankful for this blog. I don't know even what you call this, what this is, Kim. I don't know what you call it. I just,
A YouTube channel.
it's what? A
A YouTube channel.
Well, I'm thankful for this YouTube channel.
That's right. That's right.
I'm just thankful that I just breathed in some air and breathed it out again. I really am thankful. Happy Thanksgiving,
Happy
American
Thanksgiving.
friends.
That's right.
Sissy, I'm going to get you to go next.
I am thankful for friends and understanding and support. I am thankful for you and bringing us together, Kim. I'm thankful that you have extended this part of your heart to reach out to people who need it, to meet that need. I am thankful for the food down in my kitchen that needs to be cooked now because it's 6:30. Yeah, I'm thankful for a warm heat vent under my feet, and yeah, just the circumstances that I find myself in. I'm thankful for, you know, medical care that I've got. Yeah, that might be another topic for a different time, but yeah,
We can talk about that next time. Let's see.
we
I'm
could.
available on 17th.
Okay. But yeah, just circumstances around me. I'm thankful for the comfort that I'm living in this moment.
That's wonderful. Crystal, are you able to say what you're thankful for today?
The village for Kim,
Absolutely.
for a day off to just sit and do nothing
Yep.
and be able to be a part of the village throughout today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Misha.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to this village for being here to support and interact, and to help support our dear friend and sister over there. You know, thank you for your hearts, and thank you for your care and for your value. We appreciate all of you and all of you being here.
And today I am thankful for the opportunity to have this channel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful that every week, I have had people to talk to. As guests on the channel, I am thankful, especially today, for these three ladies who had the courage to say yes when that is not their typical. Two of them, it's not their typical place to be today.
Nope.
But I am so grateful that you took the time, the energy, and the compassion in your heart to join me. I'm thankful for, yeah, like Glenna said, the creature comforts in my home. Very
Yeah.
grateful for that.
Yeah.
And that's nothing to sneeze at, because there are a lot of people who do not have these same creature comforts, even in their own homes, who are in the chat.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful for that. And I'm also grateful for my husband, who has now come home from work. So
I want to say there was a lady who was on, what is today? Thursday? I guess she was on Tuesday. And she lost, I think she said, a grandson at this time of year.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know who that
Sheila.
lady is. I can't remember her name.
Sheila.
I want you to know I've been praying for you and your family, because that's you're going through a tough time.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah. Keela, this would have been her first time on my channel. I am anticipating being nowhere near her last.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the next show we're going to have on here is on the 5th.
Nope, on the third.
Third, yeah.
I can't count.
Fifth is-
It's the third. Okay.
Yeah, because 5th is Thursday. Yeah.
Yes. On the 5th, we're going to be talking about cookies with Mary. But on the 3rd, we're going to be talking about healing.
Mm. Okay.
And the first couple of steps of healing are forgiveness
Hmm.
and thankfulness and healing. I think they need to go kind of in that order. At least in my life, they've had to go in that order because without the
Yeah.
first two, I wasn't able to do the third.
Yeah.
So on Thursday, the 3rd of December, we will be talking about healing in another panel discussion. We're going to have Kristen, Melinda, we're going to have Mary, Indigo, Misha, Crystal, if she wants to be here, and Mama and Glennis, if they want to be here.
Yeah.
I have no shortage of beautiful people who have to heal through a lot of crap,
Mhm.
who I know.
Yeah.
And I am grateful for every one of them.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like this Indigo. My motto is Larks. Love, acceptance, respect, care, and care for, support.
Mm.
Oh, that's
Mm.
wonderful. I love
I
that,
like-
Indigo. Thank you.
Me too, Indigo.
Love, acceptance, repair, respect, care, support. I like that. Yeah.
Oh, I need to write that
Those,
down.
those are significant. Yeah, that is
They are.
significant.
Yep. Okay. So thank you, everybody. Indigo, that is a fantastic place to end off.
Yes.
I thank you, everybody who came, everybody in the comments, the communication throughout, and the communication that we were able to show throughout. Thank you. I'm thankful for you. Have a
Love
great
you.
evening, everybody, and I will see you
Love
on
you.
Tuesday.
Love
Love
you.
y'all.
Bye.
Bye. So, Sissy, you want to come on Tuesday on the Healing Channel, or are you not up for that?
I'm not up for that yet.
That's fair.
You know, something that with that Indigo, that's Misha? Yeah.
No, Indigo is
No.
Indigo.
Oh, okay.
Misha is awakened. No,
Oh,
reflection.
no. Okay, there we go. Okay. But something that Indigo wrote was that Larks,
Mhm.
with that list of those pillars. I like that. At some point, I would like to sit down and talk with you about the 9 A words in a relationship.
Okay.
These are a list of words that are significant aspects to a healthy relationship. I was originally given 8, but I have added a 9th because I think it is very important. So yeah, I'd like to be able to try to do that at some point with you.
Okay. Yeah. 9A word for relationship.
Have you seen that Barbie around before, Kim?
Never. No, I think she's probably from say Indigo or something like that. So I think she might have been from Indigo's.
Group.
I know Sharon knows her somehow because
Oh,
I think
okay.
she's the one I had asked. I don't know if you've been on the last couple of lives of Sharon's,
Oh,
but I
we're
had
still live.
Oh, shoot.
Thanks,
Sorry.
Janet.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay, editing.